like people on the street, they are going to be all eventually put into either work camps, some sort of containment facilities where nobody else even see them. The middle class is going to get richer, and then the upper class, the richest point,
Yeah.
1 or 2% of the world that controls 98% of the world's wealth, are going to run the show.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's going to blow up at some point. I don't know when, but anyway,
Yeah.
what we need is people to get engaged with the people on the street and find out what they're missing. A lot of the people out here, I'll guarantee you, are missing just a little support and a little help and a little encouragement. There's some people out here with mental problems, physical problems, and they need help in a different way. But there's a lot of people out here that just, with the right sort of assistance and support, would be able to re-enter mainstream society and provide a very, very useful perspective and experience for helping other people off the street. So we're wasting so much knowledge and experience and ways of making our whole society and I guess civilization so much more, I guess, comfortable and I guess happy and just interesting, and where people would just want to get up in the morning and do things, not have to drag themselves out of bed, drive themselves to work, struggle through the week for the paycheck, and then come home, whatever, and then drink their faces off all weekend, because they're so frustrated, with going to a job that they don't like, eh? So you get people to do things that they enjoy doing. There's enough different interests out there that if you rearrange the job, I guess, functions of people and geared them towards what people enjoy doing rather than what people have to do based on, preconceptions of what money will do for the enjoyment and love in life, we would have a so much more happy and well balanced, mentally, physically, and emotionally, spiritual existence. And man, I just pray to God that word gets out and more people start talking about this, and we get our political leaders to get off their sorry bloody asses and quit giving us bullshit about how they're going to end homelessness in 10 years. I've heard that from every mayor since I've been a kid, and I'm 53 years old now.
Yep.
And all they want is their little political little goldfish, their little, I guess they want to look good in the public eye, that they're doing something that's going to help out the lesser fortunate and make themselves look good, and but there's nothing being done. There's so little, and so what, like you were saying earlier, the resources that are being used for helping the people out here are so mismanaged, because the people that are managing that money aren't out here. They have no idea what it's like to be out here, and it's like a doctor fixing your broken leg without going to medical school to learn how to fix it in the first place. Like, these guys are working. Anyway, I don't want to get too ignorant, but these people do not have the necessary qualifications to be making the decisions that they are making concerning the well-being and enhancement and development and productivity of people that are just, for whatever reason, went through the went through the cracks and ended up on the streets. Like, maybe they went through a divorce. Who knows what happened? They lost their job at the wrong. They end up on the street. There's so many people that are one paycheck away from being in a similar situation. They're lucky there's not more people like that right now. And man, I almost wish everybody that lived in these nice fancy apartments would live on the street for 1 week and see how it really is. When it's cold at night, when your feet are freezing, when nobody's there to help you, and maybe then you get a little bit of, well, at least understanding, and hopefully that might trigger, their social or their mental
Well-being.
well, need to do some good
Yeah.
rather than
Right.
rather than
Yeah.
being on the side of evil or being the side of
Yeah.
what is not good, to do something decent and make everybody a little bit better. And believe me, kindness starts by giving. Giving is, I never understood this. When I was a kid, I always liked receiving. It was always way better to get your Christmas present. You didn't think about giving, but giving, you know, you can you can give to so many,
Yeah.
whereas you can only receive to yourself.
Yeah.
That's why giving is so much more important.
Yeah.
And people got to understand how
It's a
important
cool
it is
way
to
of putting
give.
it.
People don't understand even what love is about. Like, love isn't about this hormonal thing that you have when you. Love is about making somebody better.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So you don't have to like a person to love them. You don't have to like their behaviors, but you can still love the person by making them a little bit better. And that's all love is.
You mentioned a really important word earlier, like understanding, actually, and how do you think that kind of connects to this issue of like stigma, stigma, in the homeless community, and like what does that word? I mean, it can be a power-packed word like stigma, or just that general idea of like perceptions of like what people
Well,
like. Let's say,
stereotypes that stems from the stigma, and it's because of ignorance. People have preconceived notions of what homeless people are really about. And I'll tell you one thing: homeless people are some of the most well balanced mentally, in terms of emotional well being. Like, they are the most, in a lot of cases, the most generous, happy, well adjusted. Although we all have our problems. There's a lot of alcoholism out here. There's a lot of drug abuse. That's because we're just idle minds. Get
yeah,
into trouble. But that aside, they are very, very, very good to each other. And the most generous people out here are the people with the least.
yeah,
So it just goes to tell you that it's more does not make you happy.
yeah,
Uh, if anything, more makes you more confused. You waste all your time trying to protect things that you don't need, and worrying about uh, all these things you have hidden away or stored away in your garages, like your 3 cars that you only drive one and 2 are sitting there all. Like, come on, like, what do you need all these things like this? These static, dead entity, existing materialistic items do not bring happiness. Happiness comes from the soul, the heart, from love, from engaging with human beings, from loving what God created for us all here. Our earth is so beautiful, and everything about it can be so great. And enjoy that. Not who has the most toys at the end wins.
yeah.
It's nothing to do with that. That's just so shallow and so narrow-minded. It's to think that people go through the whole life just to get that Ferrari or Porsche
Yeah.
or $1 million home. Like, that does not make, like, I know for sure in my experience, uh, I've had some pretty high paying jobs during my career, and I'll tell you, the most high paying jobs that I've ever had were the least satisfying from a emotional perspective. The most enjoyable, uh, uh, I guess, job or duty I've ever had is it been in the last 3 months, homeless, because I am able to go out there
Yeah.
and give to people and get help and just be a part of a very close and dynamic little group of
Yeah.
I guess outcasts or marginalized human beings.
What would you say, like, I mean, in the community of those who happen to not have a home, homeless people, like, would you say that, like, there is definitely a distinct kind of higher proportion of like crime, right? Like, what would you say is the reality for like the youth who are kind of getting into the street and beginning to experience crime, like,
Ooh,
or if you have any advice for those youth?
oh my God, yes. You know what? Stay in school for sure.
Yeah,
Uh, don't go for the money. You know, find something you have a passion for,
Yeah.
and do that, and then the money is going to follow anyway. Because any time you do something you have a passion for, you're going to end up being really popular. You know.
Yeah.
But that aside, regarding the kids on the street now and the crime and all the deficiencies that go with it in this area, it's almost a unfortunate side effect of survivalism. You know, you have
Yeah.
this. They don't know how to do it any other way. You
Yeah.
know, because they've seen so many other people being successful at it, and this relates back to having the most wins. You know, the materialistic thing. You know, it has nothing to do with getting, you know, doing some good for humanity. It has to do with, you know, getting the best. I don't know. Nobody's driving Porsches, but maybe the best bike or the nicest clothes or whatever it is. You know,
Yeah.
and those are the status symbols out here. Not the same as Wall Street, but you know, very very analogous to every social structure that we have. You know, right now, they're all the same, basically, except the difference is the economic, the value and the amount of money that each sector or each group has.
Yeah.
You know, so
Totally. Yeah. Do you want to share as well, or are you good?
he's
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. What's your name again?
John.
John? Okay, thanks, John.
Yeah,